A judge has scheduled a second bond hearing for YNW Melly on Tuesday, May 6, 2025. His attorney, Raven Liberty, will argue for his release, with Judge Martin Fee presiding over the case. A lawyer present in court noted that Judge Fee appeared to be seriously considering dismissal, expressing frustration with the state's handling of the case. The prosecution was criticized for treating the penalty case as an inconvenience, failing to follow court orders and arriving unprepared for hearings. In response, Melly's legal team kept their argument straightforward, emphasizing that no firearm was ever recovered.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what I was used.
Okay.
Melly's lawyers also presented GPS and text message evidence from the time of the crime, which reportedly shows him running away down the street.
That would be the part he's saying that someone just shut the car up and was trying to shoot him. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, and I'm hiding. He was like, there's some, there's some, I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Zach and Judy? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
Judge Fee then announced that Melly should be given a chance at bond release until his trial begins, stating that it was unfair for him to remain in jail for years without a conviction. Shortly after, the judge also confirmed that Melly's ex-girlfriend, Mariah, was allowed to go home. She later posted a statement expressing gratitude, saying, "To my village, thank you. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine," adding that she was unhappy with how she had been portrayed in the news.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
The judge was stunned by how long Melly had been in jail without a verdict. Addressing the prosecutors, the judge demanded they present their reasoning for keeping him locked up. Otherwise, he would be released on bond. In response, the prosecutors unleashed a wave of evidence against Melly, introducing a newly discovered motive. According to an O-Block member, Melly sought to increase his earnings from the YNW business, which allegedly played a role in the crime.
No, let me repeat myself. Mr. Devins has to make an informed decision about who he wants as lawyers. He's now been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days. So, how long would you like to be able to make that decision?
I can't determine when the investigation will be over. That's up to the Broward Sheriff's Office, but I can, as I said, I'm just asking for a week, and then I'm asking for at least a day or two.
You will decide by tomorrow. I've also reserved all of tomorrow.
This was meant to be a secret that Melly had only confided in King Von, but Von shared it before his passing. Melly's motivation reportedly came from the fact that he and Borland were the ones doing concerts, selling merch, and securing brand deals to make money, while Sack Chaser and Juvie allegedly contributed very little. And if you know how King Von handled street situations, you can imagine the advice he gave Melly. When you combine that with evidence of Melly allegedly admitting to the crime just hours after it happened, it paints a damning picture for him.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, if when people can say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vern was mad at me, bro. Why you put that, bro? Walk up him. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
Melly's phone also contained a video from someone's Facebook showing Borland and Melly appearing happy just hours after Sack Chaser and Juvie had passed.
The PTK Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHH.
This footage suggests they showed no sympathy for their fallen best friends. Meanwhile, investigators analyzed the physical evidence from the crime, including the Jeep they were driving. Sergeant Williams concluded that the crime had to have been committed by someone inside the vehicle.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! The dog still turned. Regardless of what happened, you already know.
With Williams confirming that the suspects had to be in the back left seat, Juvie's mother revealed who was sitting there.
How many rounds were inside the car?
3. From the driver's side back seat.
As to the Christopher Thomas, where did that come from?
Driver's side back seat.
Oh.
My determination was that this is not a drive-by, and it's based upon this picture here at a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here, the actually moving in that.
This is when the prosecutors took a shocking step. They planned to get Borland to turn on Melly using a new tactic. Their strategy was to try the cases of Melly and Borland simultaneously, hoping to force Borland to testify against him.
Can you state your name? Your full name, please.
I'm Leon Cruz.
And are you related to one of the groups in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Jamil.
If Borland knows he had no part in the deaths of Sack Chaser and Juvie, he won't just sit back and accept a life sentence behind bars. It's likely he would point the finger at Melly if it came down to it, especially since Melly's lawyer had already tried to shift the blame onto Borland in the first trial.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together, just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. They're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
A forensic scientist even confirmed the findings of powder on his hands, stating that the evidence clearly indicated it.
Those were his lives. Corporal Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car, two bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies.
He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having the phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in the pocket, not Portland Henry.
Portland was clearly upset when this information came out. He tweeted, "Mind games don't work on people like me," accompanied by a handshake emoji, as if signaling he was accepting some kind of deal. But did you know Melly?
So the right hand of Portland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of hot residue and two component particles. And the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of hot residue and 1 2-component particle. Okay.
And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was hot residue present on the hands.
Not to mention, the witness tampering case would be treated as a separate case, meaning even more legal fees for Melly. With Mariah deeply involved in the matter, Juvie's father took it upon himself to investigate how Melly had tampered with her testimony.
Filing 6 new charges against Demmons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
If found guilty, Melly could be sentenced to life in prison for the witness tampering charges. Due to his involvement in tampering, he hasn't been allowed to use a phone while in jail. His mother, Jamie King.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person, and then that person.
They like me. They're going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna, and they said Rocky's baby mom. And
with Melly unable to use the phones, it's likely they have evidence of his witness tampering that will be presented in court. Despite this, Jamie King spoke out, expressing her heartbreak for her son and everything he's had to endure.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
However, this is just the beginning of Melly's recent troubles. Did you know that it was announced Melly's moms had started a fans account while he stands trial? She later appeared in an interview where she discussed the decision in detail.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
This news sent the internet into a frenzy, with even DJ Academics sharing his thoughts on the situation.
Why did you decide to break the internet the other day? You're saying that you're YNW Melly's mom and you're about to hit fans.
Why not? You make money while you sleep, and I turned 40 this year. Why not do something crazy?
Did you start it yet though?
What? My only? Yeah.
How much you made the first day? I just need to know the first day.
The first day was pretty epic. It was pretty epic.
Give me a ballpark figure.
Like 40-ish, 50.
One day?
Day one.
So YNW Melly's mom has announced that she's going to be starting to own. And I got to be honest with y'all, man. Like, this is perplexing. The reason why it's perplexing is because I can't understand why she's doing this. Your son is fighting for his life. How much, there's certain mothers in hip hop, and you probably can name a few, I won't name all of them, that I feel like their son became stars, but they also wanted to be stars as well. Blueface's mom is one of them. The situation between Melly's mom and Melly, I always thought was interesting, but I never thought she'd be doing this. If you're wondering if she's doing this for money, this can't be a money play. Like, no way, no how.